askreddit. What celebrity death is shrouded in the most mystery? Not death but the disappearance of Agatha Christie. The wasp from outer space causing her temporary amnesia is a theory I can get on board with. Well, it's not Elvis Presley. If you were going to fake your own death, it wouldn't be taking a shit so hard you'd die of a heart attack. Not that it's a conspiracy theory, but in the movie Bubba Hotep it's the real Elvis because he would often swap out with a body double when he wanted some downtime out of the spotlight. Problem was the body double was a drug addict and died. Hilariously, in the movie he had to then make a living as an Elvis impersonator, though he was a good one. Fun movie. Not really a celebrity per se, but that British spy who committed suicide and was found dead, zipped up inside of a duffel bag that was locked from the outside. Or the journalist exposing the CIA trafficking crack/cocaine into the US and creating the drug epidemic they claimed to be fighting, whose death was ruled a suicide but he had been shot in the head twice. I always thought Brittany Murphy and her boyfriend's death seemed really weird. Charles Lindbergh's son's death was absolutely bizarre and surrounded in questionable characters. Jimmy Hoffa. I mean, it's not hard to see why someone would want to kill him, but who did it and how? Natalie Wood. Harold Holt went for a swim, never came back, also has a swimming center named after him. The US Navy named a ship after him and sunk it as part of an exercise in the Pacific. I was always curious about the guitarist from Manic Street Preachers, Richie Edwards. He disappeared in 1995 and has never been found. It was speculated he committed suicide in a way where the body would never be found, but I like to think he's out there somewhere. George Reeves. The original Superman. Committed suicide but missed his own head a time or two. There was a movie about the whole thing starring Ben Affleck. Robert Johnson. Did he really make a deal with the devil at a crossroads for all that blues talent? He died at 27, possibly making him one of the founding members of Forever 27. Unless of course, he's just one of the first modern examples. Ooh, spooky. Bobby Fuller, famous for the first big recording of I Fought the Law, was called a suicide or an accident, but the autopsy report literally had question marks on it. Shelley Miscavige. I know we don't actually know if she's dead, but I really feel they've done something awful to her. Jill Dando. A lot of speculation about whether she was assassinated because she knew too much about goings-on at the BBC, before the Seville stuff came to light. Louis Le Prince. Disappeared from a train on his way back to Paris. His body, nor his suitcase, were ever found. His suitcase is thought to have contained plans for the first movie camera which he was weeks away from exhibiting. Many believe that his death was linked to Thomas Edison, who later tried to monopolize the industry with a gangster-like hold that almost killed cinema. Johnny Gosch, although they are not 100% certain he's dead. His disappearance has all kinds of theories and later sightings. Case isn't closed yet and it's been almost 37 years now. As a Swedish person I feel obligated to say Prime Minister Olof Palme. So many suspects, so few clues. Not a celebrity but a famous case, but I am dying to know what the fuck happened to Madeleine McCann. Years ago I watched a documentary in Portuguese with subtitles and it was actually banned in England. It made a very convincing argument about the parents doing it. The Portuguese police officer who was in charge at the time actually resigned from the case because he was so frustrated about the way the media kept getting involved and pushing that it was an abduction. There was a lot of evidence that kept getting pushed aside and looked over. He said that the celebrity of the parents is what's keeping them from having the finger pointed at them. They refused to be interviewed separately. A sniffer dog trained to smell cadavers kept going to a cupboard in the apartment constantly. A neighbor saw them vigorously scrubbing and cleaning their car and then it was left with the boot of the car open for a few days airing it out. The mum was always pictured holding on to a cuddly bunny of Maddie's in the press, but the rabbit had been washed numerous times. If you just lost your child you wouldn't wash anything like that. And in interviews with the press, the parents kept referring to her in the past tense. I know that documentaries can be biased one way or the other. And it did make a very convincing argument. I only skirted over a few of the things. But I personally think the parents have something to do with it. Edit. The name of the documentary is The Truth of the Lie by Gonzalo Amaral. John Benet Ramsey. When I can't sleep I have a habit of obsessively reading about her case, as if I in all my mediocrity am the one who will finally solve her murder. Honestly though I dearly hope it's solved one day, I'm dying to know. Deleted. Did you like these videos? Show me some love. Leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel.